Hey, I'm Casey Okupi with Free Speech Northwest. Right now I'm doing a segment, I Judge You. I'm judging Jim Acosta because I think that he likes to make everything about Jim Acosta. He likes the Jim Acosta show, and he likes to physically, do the equivalent of mansplaining to women, but he does it with his man muscles, and he physically impedes women's duties with his hands and arms. So I'm judging you, Jim Acosta. Let's go ahead and take a look at him, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to challenge you on one of the statements that you made in the tail end of the campaign in the midterms.
Here we go.
If you don't mind, Mr. President, that this caravan was an invasion. As you know, Mr. President,
I consider it to be an invasion.
As you know, Mr. President, the caravan was not an invasion. It's a group of migrants moving up from Central America towards the border with the U.S.
Thank you for telling me that. I appreciate it.
Why did you characterize it as such?
Because I consider it an invasion. You and I have a difference of opinion.
But do you think that you demonized immigrants in this election to try to keep them?
I want them to come into the country, but they have to.
So he's trying to Acostasplain to the president. That's what this is. He's Acostasplaining. And he's trying to Acostasplain to a man, the President of the United States, Donald Trump. He's trying to say, President of the United States, Donald Trump, this is an invasion. It's not, he's saying this is just a peaceful, loving caravan. This is not an invasion. And the president is saying, I'm the president of the United States, I'm gonna say what I want. You're Acosta, so stop trying to Acostasplain to me that it's not an invasion. You know, Acosta's taking his opinions and his views, and he's saying this is the Jim Acosta show, and you're going to look at it from my perspective. I'm going to virtue signal. He's virtue signaling. I mean, if you say this is peaceful migrants and all that stuff, they're actually rushing the border. They are throwing rocks and things. They are 95%, I think, approximately, adult males. They're men. They're not women and children. There are a few of those mixed in there, but he's trying to Acostasplain to the president right now that it's a peaceful migration. It's not. And the president, this is the president of the United States, Donald Trump. You don't Acostasplain to him anything. So let's keep going, please.
Come in legally. You know, they have to come in, Jim, through a process. I want it to be a process, and I want people to come in, and we need the people.
Your campaign.
Wait. You know why we need the people, don't you? Because we have hundreds of companies moving in. We need the people.
But your campaign had an ad showing migrants climbing over walls and so on.
Well, that's true. But they weren't actors.
They're not going to be doing that.
They weren't actors. Well, no, it's true. Do you think they were actors? They weren't actors.
Okay. So, yeah, the president had an ad that everyone took off TV because it showed migrants coming over the top of borders and things. And Jim Acosta saying, that's not going to happen, President Trump. That's not going to happen. It's happening. Happened. Is happening. So this is a little dated. This already happened. But Acosta was wrong. They're jumping over the border, and they were stopped and arrested because the president sent soldiers down there to stop them and arrest them because they need to go through a process. What's wrong with a process? That's the question. When President Trump was campaigning to be elected, he talked about how, let's say you murdered someone in another country or you committed a crime in another country. Do you want to be in that country? Like, let's say I did something to someone in the United States of America. You think I want to hang out here? No, I'd run to some other country. So he's saying, go to a normal check-in area and we'll check out your background. We'll do some research on you before just permitting you to come into the country. You know, we'll see why you're coming here. Is that wrong? You're crazy, Acosta. Let's keep going, please.
These were people, this was an actual, you know, it happened a few days ago. And
They're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of
you know
miles
what?
away.
I
That's
think
not an
you
invasion.
should, honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings
Let
would
me
be
ask,
much
if
better.
I may
Okay,
ask
that's
one
pause
other
it.
question, Mr. President, if I may ask
Peter,
one
go
other
ahead.
question, are you worried?
Pause this for a minute. So, Acosta is arguing with the president. What do you think the job is of these interviewers, these reporters in this press briefing? What do you think the job of theirs is? Is it to gather news and data, or is it to have a debate and an argument on television with the president? Acosta is really trying to be a big man. He's trying to be the big man here, and he's trying to argue with the President of the United States. It's not Acosta's job to reinterpret things and argue the president. Acosta should have ran for president. He would have lost, but maybe he should do that if he wants to be the big man. He's trying to argue with the president to feel powerful and to feel big. He's arguing. He's not asking the president questions right now. He's saying, they're hundreds of miles away. Why are you saying these things? That's not the kind of questions you ask the president. That's not, it just doesn't make any sense. He's trying to make it the Jim Acosta show. He's trying to make this press briefing about the struggle between the president, which is Goliath, and Jim Acosta, who's David. But that's not the reality of the situation. Acosta is just an arrogant, smug man. And right now, as you see here, this press person, this White House intern, is trying to grab the microphone from Acosta, and he's like, See, this is his equivalent of mansplaining. Watch, you'll see. Let's continue, please.
Enough. That's enough.
Mr. President, I
That's
was going
enough.
to ask one of the other folks.
That's
have had,
enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr.
Excuse
President,
me.
Okay,
That's
can we
enough.
pause it?
Mr. President, I had one of the.
Did we see that? She reaches up. He's like, ah! She reaches up to grab it. On her arm. He pushes down on her arm. He pushed down on her arm. Yeah, he's the guy. He's a man. He's using his man muscles. That's the physical equivalent to mansplaining to a woman. You know, and I don't necessarily believe in mansplaining or whatever that is, but he's using his physical body to push her arm away when she's trying to do her job as an intern and grab the microphone and bring it to another interviewer. He's saying, no, this is the Jim Acosta show, and you're a woman, and I'm stronger than you. That's what he's saying. He's like, I'm stronger than you because I'm a man and you're a woman, and this is the Jim Acosta show. So get away from me, woman. All right, let's see what's going
Peter,
on.
let's
Question, if
go.
I may ask, on the Russia investigation, are you concerned that you may have?
I'm not concerned
indictments-
about anything with
that you
the
may have
Russian
indictments coming down?
investigation because it's a hoax.
Are you-
That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
Mr. President,
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Go ahead.
I think that's unfair.
You're a
I've
very
worked-
rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible.
Can we
And
pause
the way
it?
you treat other people are horrible.
Okay. He's a rude person. Jim Acosta was rude. He's a rude guy. He was rude to this White House intern girl. He is rude to Sarah Huckabee Sanders and everything. He's rude. He tried to control that. You're supposed to ask the president something, hear an answer, maybe ask one or two follow-ups. He's trying to have this Jim Acosta show narrative, and it is rude. It is selfish. But, you know, everyone's got their agendas, and so he gets back up. Let's continue, please.
Horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way. Go ahead. Go ahead, Peter, go ahead.
In Jim's defense, I've traveled with him and watched him. He's a diligent reporter who busts
Well,
his
I'm
butt
not a
like the
big
rest
fan
of
of
us.
yours either, so
I understand.
to be honest.
So let me ask you a question if I can. You repeatedly
You
said,
aren't the best.
Mr. President, you repeatedly
All right, we can
of the-
stop
just-
it, please. All right, that's the end of this whole narrative thing. He gets kind of sick of the Russian thing because literally CNN, like, every day, Russia, 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 Russia. What about the Russian investigation? Shut up. Yeah, we get it. Russian investigation. if there was evidence, maybe we'd know something about it. So it's old. What it is it's brainwashing. If CNN tells you 1,000,000 times Russian collusion with President Trump, if CNN tells you that 1,000,000 times, maybe you'll believe it. But I don't know. I don't think you're that easily influenced. There's no evidence to that. So it's old for the president. He's like, this is old. You're ridiculous. Let's move on. So Acosta, Jim Acosta, stop trying to make it about you. It's not the Jim Acosta show. Be nice to women. Be respectful. Don't manhandle them, Jim Acosta. And, don't try to Acostasplain to the President of the United States anything. So, I don't know. You got problems. You need to probably try to, what's the word? Find a man and use them as a model for your behavior in the future. That's what you should do. A nice guy, a good guy, a respectful guy. You should find one of those guys and try to model their behavior, because you're rude, Jim. That's it. All right. Thanks for watching Free Speech Northwest.